tuned into The Money Zone.
Hey guys, it's your girl Folasade, the Accountability Accountant guys, and I am so excited to be here with you guys on this Tuesday. Let me be honest with you guys, I was not going to make it, but I pulled through, I conquered, and I'm here for the money talk that we're going to have today, guys. And I'm like really excited to talk about tonight's topic, which is the importance of us having the money discussions more often, more regularly, part of the table discussions within the African American brown community, right? And so I'm just so excited because we suffer from that voice paralysis, those conversation paralysis, or money paralysis, or whatever the case may be. And we struggle with that. So tonight's show is extremely warranted, especially since we're closing out 2021, guys. I think we have like 30, maybe not even 60, like 50 something days left in like 2021. So this is the time to try to break any money barriers that you guys may face as well. So I'm so excited to talk about money tonight. So if I were you guys, I would grab my pen and my paper, share the video, guys. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Oh, 07, Brian. It's 05. Hey guys, welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the Accountability Accountant, guys, and we're going to talk about, because guys, this week is Talk Money Week. So we're going to talk about the importance of talking about money on tonight's episode of the Money Zone, guys. So I know, guys, it's very common in rich, poor, middle class, white, black, Hispanic, Mexican, whatever the case may be, African, all type of everybody, every skin color suffers from this problem, being extremely comfortable talking about money. And research shows that individuals that are much more comfortable talking about money or do it more often have a better outcome with their money. So they invest better, they save better, they just overall do better. So tonight's show, guys, we're going to talk about the importance of you having these money discussions with your family. And this is the time, we're still on that series. This is the time, guys, for you to really get comfortable with talking about money. So let me give you guys some background information. As you guys can see, I am brown, right? And growing up, we really didn't talk about money. I'm going to be very honest, which I'm always am. We never talked about money. We never talked about the importance of having those money discussions. We never talked about what to do with money. Even growing up with my dad being an accountant, I didn't really get exposed to like money and the concepts of money, honestly, until I needed money to go to school or needed it to buy certain things. So it wasn't like how we are doing things now in times where our children already have the concept of money. Some of them are working in our businesses and things like that. So they know money. They spend their own money. They spend your money. They get it. So the generations now, my daughter, Bren, she understands money much more than what I think I did at the age of 9. And I know many of you can maybe contest to the same thing that, at 9, if you're like 36, to 40, you didn't really hear too many money conversations at the dinner table on Sunday nights or the dinner table Monday nights. You really didn't. And if we did, it was more so of a misery. And let me just speak for myself in this case, where it was just very painful to have those discussions. And it wasn't really like I was involved in a discussion. It was more so a reaction to some problem or some frustration or to some bill. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I grew up with a negative context of bills. I grew up with a negative context of bills. And that is simply because we never really had those discussions. All I knew was, and most of you may have the same concept, Oh, first of the month, wake up, wake up, wake up, get your check and come on. You pay all your bills by the first of the month. All your money is gone. You done paid your mortgage, this. By the time you look up, you don't have any money left over. So to achieve any other goals outside of paying your bills is maybe very challenging to some of you that's watching the show right now. So we're going to talk about some practical steps for you guys to be able to save. Um, and truth be told, and I'll talk on this a little bit deeper. Truth be told, sometimes we have to actually 90% of the time, I have to be honest with you guys, we have to go out and make more money. Sometimes you can only save and allocate a certain amount to certain areas or continue to rob Peter to pay Paul for so long before your whole foundation end up breaking. Okay. And if many of you don't know my backstory, that was part of my issue. When I started my company, it was very challenging for years and years and years. And so I had to rob Peter to pay Paul. I had to neglect some of my bills to be able to pay my staff. And so, when you guys are really out there, you want to be well aware of what is happening to your money. And so having these money discussions is very vital to your overall success. Okay. So, number one, many of us have money blocks. Like my money blocks was so painful, guys, that I was even afraid to go to the mailbox to check my bills. Like it was scary. And some of you may resonate with this because I have clients that always say, Folasade, I'm scared to go check the bills. I'm scared. I'm scared to check the email and to get a new bill. I'm now they're text messaging. I'm hating the new text messaging. I'm getting those, responses now from clients and things. And so tonight we're going to kind of be a bit practical because it is a money talk week, and I want us to break those barriers before we go into 2022 so you guys can be profitable, make money, and scale your businesses. But what we need to do, first of all, is have the number one realization that sometimes, and you may want to write this down, you may not be able to save enough. You may have to go out and make more money. So that may mean start that side hustle. That may mean go and do Uber or Lyft or something. Find another alternative, a secondary source of income. Okay. So automatically, I'm not saying jump out and get 8 streams of income. No. However, to possibly be able to meet some of your goals outside of just paying your bills on time, right? You may have to go get another part-time or something just for your fun money. So don't be against that either. And I've seen extremely successful people do that. I've even had clients that work 9 to 5s, guys, and sacrificed in very extreme manners and sacrifice and have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars saved. So let's really be very practical tonight, but be honest with ourselves as well. So number one realization tonight's show is that you may have to, I don't know what that noise was. You may have to go and get an alternative job or start that side gig. I don't know. Okay, so that's number one. All right. Number two, you're going to have to do a budget. I know you hate this word. And when Brenda was really, really little, she was like, I hate a budget. I hate budget. It was so embarrassing, y'all. I was on live stream and everything. And she was like, I hate budgets and everything. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. You have to budget. And so a budget to me personally, and I just want you guys to think of it in just such an easy manner, is just showing what money is coming in right now for a given month and what expenses you are presently incurring for that given month as well. Now, some people will say do a whole year's budget and all of that stuff. I just want you guys to just start where you are. We don't have to go back last year. We don't have to go back 6 months. Let's start with where we are. So what we want to do is look at how much money do we anticipate coming in? How much money do we anticipate coming in the month of November? and how much and what expenses. And so you want to budget according to your lifestyle, but you also need to also put some constraints on something. So like if you're overeating, you may need to cut back a little bit. You know what I mean? But doing the budget will let you know that. So don't cut back on anything. Don't make any drastic changes. Just put the numbers down. So put the total amount of money, and this is if you have a business, and this is if you have a 9 to 5. You put the amount of money you make, then your expenses. So your expenses would be your mortgage, your rent, your gas, electricity, your kids' tuition, your gas to and from, your car gas, your insurance, life insurance, all of those recurrent expenses that doesn't go away. Write them down immediately. You know those off the top of your head. You know what day is due, right? Drop it down on the bucket. All right. So that's step number 2. Once you write down those recurring normal expenses, then you want to look at your lifestyle. Okay, so do you get your nails done? Do you get your wigs done? Do you go get waxes? And this is for my ladies. For my guys, we go get your hair cut. If you maybe buy a new pair of shoes regularly once a month, whatever your lifestyle is, put that down as well, right? So once you do that, then that will allow you to see whether or not you have enough money to cover your present lifestyle. And so whatever that number is, the 4th thing you guys need to do, and I know this is a lot, that's why I ask you guys to get your pen and your paper, is now go back to your bank statements and look at your expenses from previous months. Go and see what you were doing. Were you eating out too much? Were you shopping? And then ask yourself why. During last month, what were you doing? Why were you eating out? When did you eat out so much? Okay, for my women, was it when you were on your womanly? When you were on your cycle or whatever? Were you eating out when you had a falling out with your husband or your boyfriend? Or when the kids stress you out? Or did you have a girls' day? Like, start to figure out the patterns that are in your spending. Once you guys figure out whatever patterns are in your spending, right? Oh, they're killing me in this house. Once you figure out the patterns in your spending, right, then you're able to really see what your money is doing for you and what you are doing with your money. So, prime example, what your money is doing for you. If you look down at your budget and you only see that you're eating out, so that means your money is actually providing you with the means to eat out, right? So if your money is working for you, right, then you will see your money going into an investment bucket, and then you will see an increase in your income for that month because of your investments. So what are you doing with your money, and what your money is doing for you? Those are the 2 questions that you need to ask yourself. Once you guys go through that, and you may want to catch the replay, guys. So if you want to catch the replay, what we talked about, and it's like 5 steps that I gave you guys, go to ripradionetwork.com after the show. Within 24 hours, it will be there. And then it will also be on all places where podcasts are housed, where you'll be able to check this out. Slow down the video a little bit. Or you can even download the Rip Radio app as well and listen to the show, and which will be great. Then you can take down all of your notes. But this is what you guys should do before year end, so you can tackle whatever money barriers that you're having. And so the first conversation of money that you need to have before you jump out there trying to have money conversations with other people, not knowing where they are, their financial plan. Okay, because some people may look like they're being irresponsible, but depending on their income, they may not be irresponsible. So don't just jump out there and talk about money, honey. What you need to first do is have that private conversation with yourself first, okay? Then figure out where you are on the stratosphere of money, okay? Money management and everything. And then start to get comfortable with having those discussions. And those discussions just maybe be like, oh, do you invest in stock? Oh, did you hear about the new coin? Oh, nothing that is pressure, just something to initiate the conversation. You guys, y'all ruin it. Y'all go flat out. Oh, how much money you make? Do you make six figures? That's what y'all end up doing. And so the conversation just flat out go left. People feel uncomfortable. Most people don't want to tell you how much money they make, how much is in their investments and things like that, the dollar amount. But they may tell you what they are investing in. And those are the discussions and the conversations that you need to be concerned about, not how much is in their portfolio. Well, you want to kind of know if their portfolio is doing well, but you can kind of tell if it's doing well if they're your friend or close, constituent or something like that. But you guys want to start having those discussions now, especially since we're coming out of this pandemic, guys, right? To me personally, there's still a lot of uncertainty happening. Every year we get new laws, new different scenarios, new policies and things like that every year. So to me personally, and then with the climate of the shipping and jobs and fraud that had occurred, I'm worried. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. So with that being said, I think if we truly would have had a lot of these money discussions early on, a lot of things could have been prevented. A lot of fraud could have been prevented. A lot of accumulation of debt. A lot of everything. So I don't know. I know you guys been watching Squid Games because that's why I ended up watching it, right? And I think I'm finishing up episode 5. Okay. So I'm watching Squid Games, and it is just so many monetary lessons, business lessons from in that movie. In that series, in the Netflix series. And so one thing I want to connect the dots to was that all of them that were there accumulated a significant amount of debt that they would have not been possible to pay back. So having these money discussions, guys, may prevent you from being in the predicament of accumulating a lot of credit card debt. I know many of you, some people you may know have accumulated credit card debt from college and everything else. I understand you were naive at that point, but some of you are still at your age now. You're 36, 37, 40, 45, 60, 70, whatever you are, right? And you still are accumulating a lot of credit card debt and things like that. And we have to now take the lessons that's out there and use Squid Games, for example. All of them accumulated a lot of debt and was willing to put their life on the line to get more money, or to suddenly to not have to work for it, to gamble their way to more money. So are you guys gambling with your income? Are you risking every month falling short? Are you overspending? Are you shopping too much? Are you eating out too much? Are you investing too much? Sometimes you can invest too much and make mistakes and it don't turn into the black for years and years and years and years. So what are you doing right now? Are you having the money discussions that you're supposed to be having? And it just starts very, very simple, guys. And it doesn't have to be filled with pressure. But you don't ask people out of, and the only reason why I can ask, now I ask people how much money they make, but not in my day-to-day life. Okay? So in the day-to-day life, y'all, I don't walk around asking people how much money they make. But if you want to get on a call with me to see if I'm a good fit for you, I'm going to ask you how much money your business makes. Okay? Or how much money you make from your 9 to 5. So, but you guys on a regular basis should not be asking everyday folks about how much money they make. And I've seen that happen. Don't do it. You just ask them. Oh, did you see what they talked about on CNN about this new XYZ, whatever it is that you're interested in? If it's in stock, if it's an investment, if it's a new business, whatever it shall be at that moment, bring it up indirectly or use the news or recent topics, popular topics to wane in these money conversations, guys. I'm going to be very honest with you. The African American community, not only are we lacking a lot of opportunities, but we're also lacking the conversations that's needed to really be able to grab and be aware of the opportunities that are out there, because we are afraid to talk about money, and we're doing it in a way that is tasteless as well. So we can go about building generational wealth independently, and it can take decades. And I don't even think, honestly, when people throw out the concept of generational wealth, that they even understand what the actual concept means. Okay? Just leaving your children $2 million is not generational wealth. That is a inheritance. Okay? Generational wealth goes beyond the inheritance. It is now something for when you, the person that is the beneficiary, right, receiving all of the money, when you have children, when your children have children. And so right now, what we don't understand is that to get to that level of generational wealth, we have to do the first thing that I said that we have to do, which is make more money. So right now, many of you want to maybe invest a little bit, maybe want to treat yourself a little bit, maybe want to save something. You have to put your budget down together like we talked about, because the last thing that you guys want to do is save up $300 this week, $200 next week, $300 the following week, and by the end of the month, because you didn't set aside enough to cover all of your bills, you have to go back into the savings. You see, this is why your budget is required, guys, to prevent you from going back into the savings. Okay? So you want to make sure that you have your budget in place, and you figure out how to make some extra money. A lot of you are sitting on gifts. You may know how to crochet. You may know how to paint. You may know how to sing. You may know how to write. You may know how to cook. You may know how to clean. You may have to do, you may know how to do something. Are you using the things that you enjoy doing? Because if you enjoy organizing, why not become an organizer to make more money? And then, put that money away. And or eventually don't put it away, but end up retiring from your 9 to 5 and having your own event planning business or interior decorating business. So guys, we're in that phase right now in the climax of society. I don't even think you guys understand where we are, that we're going to have to fend for ourselves pretty soon. Like, the government is tapping out. The government is beyond debt, like beyond what they're supposed to be doing, okay? They should not be giving out any more money, but they should be figuring out ways to help our businesses scale and grow so we can hire y'all, but in positions that you guys feel worthy of. Because right now, the way, and see, these are the money discussions that we need to be having. So like right now, one thing I'm also concerned about is employment. Everyone is saying, well, people don't want to work and everything else. Well, first of all, COVID changed the climate, the business, the work environments. People don't want to go and work a regular job. People want to be able to work their regular job at home. But guess what? Many companies are still forcing their employees to come back to the office. Why? if they've been successfully able to run the company without any glitches, things didn't fall through the cracks, you were able to monitor them in a legal capacity, why? Why are you forcing them? And so now we're damaging the workforce. Like, it's just so many things that's happening. Well, this will impact the money. Because if we don't have the employees, we can't serve to a higher capacity, which means your job can make more money. You may not get opportunities to make more money, or your business may not get more opportunities to make more money. So it's layers to this money discussion. Like, we supposed to be talking about how to build businesses, because that's part of that money discussion, even if it's just a side gig. We need to be talking about investing, not just what's happening with Bitcoin, but general investing, long-term investing. Okay. We need to be talking about real estate investing. We need to be talking about credit, personal credit, business credit. So we have a lot of different discussions that we need to be having right now, and we're not having them, or we're taking the classes and you guys are not executing on them. Or if you know you're not going to execute on them, give them to someone in your family that you know is going to take that class and do it, and then can show y'all how to do it. If you're not the one, but you got the money and you keep burning out, then you may need to get another family member to learn the ropes so they can come and they'll teach you guys. But it's no excuse in the day and age that we are in, guys, for us to not, one, get access to the information that you need so you can learn as much, but two, have the money discussions that we have to have so we can in turn at least be able to transfer an inheritance, okay, to our children. Because right now, truth be told, 70% of the Black community is not transferring over anything but debt. We're not getting the life insurance policies. Okay? We're not making the investments into stocks and IRAs and, making our children as the beneficiaries and things like that. Some of us are, 30% of us are, 70% aren't. So that we still have a major gap. And 30% cannot continue to keep taking care of society, because that's the problem. And why Biden is continuously trying to tax us, guys, is because 30%, he's relying on not even 30%, the 1%. The 1%. To pay taxes so the government can sustain. Where we're in the land of opportunity, that if you guys just go out and start businesses that you enjoy doing, you don't have to try to scale businesses to massive multi-million-dollar companies. You can get your business to making $2,000-$3,000 an extra, per month, and that can just be your family's in savings, investings, and fun money, and live a damn good life. But we're not having those discussions, guys. So we have to have those discussions, like, what you want to do. You want to travel? Okay, well, let's save for traveling. You want to be able to invest more? Let's save for investing. But you can't save effectively, guys, without a solid budget, because you're going to keep dipping and dabbling into your savings buckets. Okay? So, guys, I said a mouthful on the first session of the Money Zone, guys. So what I'm going to do, I hope that you were able to grab all of the information that I put down, but I don't think you probably were able to. So please go to ripradionetwork.com or download the Rip Radio app in the Google and Android, Google and Apple Play App Store. Download the Rip Radio Network app so you can catch the show on replay, guys. So you can go and execute now, because we're at the end of the year. We're going into 2022. Times are changing. Things are moving so fast. I don't know about y'all. It's moving very fast for me. And I see the landscape is moving very fast. Unless you sleeping under the rock, things are moving very fast. So guys, grab your pen, grab your paper. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. So your refund can still be high. Or if it's not the case, your refund will definitely be lower. So that's really a few of the reasons why many of you are going to be shocked, thrown back, taken aback, beat up, disturbed, might be crying in your feelings because your tax refunds are much lower than what you anticipated. Your business is right on that piece of paper that I can maximize, but guess what? Many of you guys took shortcuts in your business. You've been taking shortcuts for years. So you're out of luck right now. You're looking at that pile of paper and you like, yo, you serious, Folasade? Yes, I'm serious. And I'm very serious because right now your bookkeeping is what's going to either catapult your business or be a detriment to your business. And your lack of it is definitely a detriment, especially in the situation that we're in right now, where we all need to be maximizing our deductions and paying as little bit of tax as we legally could so we can sustain in our businesses and be able to afford our lifestyles. But if you are not doing your bookkeeping, and if you're not keeping proper records, then I guarantee you are not paying the right amount of taxes that you're supposed to pay, or you're not getting the right amount of refund that you are supposed to be getting. So if you are a business owner, the way for you to protect your wealth, your income right now is by making sure you cross your T's and dot your I's and get your bookkeeping in order and stop playing games like you out here not trying to build a successful business. Only people that don't want to be successful don't have an accountant. Only people that don't want to be successful don't do their bookkeeping. And right now, your small business is maybe somebody else's blessing if you were to get your stuff in order. So you need your bookkeeping to make sure that every dollar you spend in your business is written off. Accountability matters. Accounting matters, okay? And being forthcoming matters. But most importantly, being you and staying true to yourself is what really matters. Hey guys, welcome back to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the Accountability Accountant, guys. And if you missed out on part one of tonight's show, I do advise you guys to head over to the Rip Radio Network's app, okay? So you can catch the replay. Check that out. Download the app, check out the replay so you can get the actionable steps that I gave you guys in the first half of the show to really be able to get comfortable talking about money, do what you need to do first internally, okay? Because we got to work on ourselves, right? Do what you need to do internally and then be able to drum up those easy breezy, fun money conversations. Okay. So guys, I'm going to give you 5 reason why it's important for you to talk about money. Because first of all, we talked about you learn helpful ways to budget and tips and tricks and things like that, right? Which will allow you to achieve your goals. But it also will allow you to, as you know, hold yourself accountable to your goals and to your future, guys. And then truly having those money discussions dispels the pain that comes from it. And I think the pain comes from talk about money is when you lack it, right? Most people with money aren't really, unless they're still breaking their barriers, right? They may be a little uncomfortable, but most people that are successful or whatever, they're not afraid to really talk about money. But people that are coming like ground up is challenging. And I remember, and this is why, and it's really a society thing too, because I remember in 2016, guys, when I downsized my office, because I let go of my big office, right? Downsized my office, let go over $100 and something thousand worth of revenue, like completely started over, right? Downsized from the big fancy office, let go all of my staff, and went into a little cubby hole, right? A little box office. And my ex-client, I let the client go, said to me, "Oh, with that little office, people are going to think you don't have any money. People are going to think that you're broke because you're downsizing." And so at that moment, I realized that I didn't want to live by what society thought was successful, that I wanted to determine what my level of success was and is. And I do encourage you guys, and this is where talking about money gets very uncomfortable. Once you're comfortable with what your goals are, what your desires are, when people talk about making a lot of money and you don't want to have all of that, you're okay not being involved in that conversation. If people are talking about having multiple rental properties and doing all that, and you know that that's not your lane, you will be comfortable sitting aside and letting them have that discussion. When we are comfortable with the choices that we're making and the goals that we have set in the life, our life, okay, not Instagram life, Facebook life, I'm talking about, and not the metaverse life and all of this stuff. I hope y'all don't go crazy because y'all already acting crazy now. Okay, that shifted. But hopefully when you guys get very comfortable in your skin and the money and the desires of what you want, right? Having money discussions is never uneasy. Never uneasy. Because you'll know when to partake, when to take a step back, when to give your feedback, when you know when you're good at something. So if you know you're good at savings, that's when you know to chime in. If you know if you're good at investing and you that friend, chime in. If you don't want to have bad habits, still chime in so your other friends can learn from your mistakes, right? Whatever you are good at is what you should be contributing to that conversation. And then also piquing the interest of other people in areas that you are not as savvy in. So they may be able to go and acquire that knowledge so you guys can teach each other and build some type of economic system. Because right now, guys, if we don't talk about money, we're not going to ever be able to build any type of economic system within our family. See, remember, economics starts with our family. Okay. And when you cannot talk about money and leave economics out of it, you cannot talk about economics and leave money out of it, and even taxes. Economics, taxes, and money all is the same, one and the same, right? So you cannot talk about money without talking about a little bit about economics. And you can't talk about the latter. The reason why is because they both impact one another. The amount of money that we consume impacts our overall economy and the economics of the US system. Okay? The money we don't spend will bankrupt this whole country, y'all. So we go too much savings. Look, and they don't really see. And this is why you have to be comfortable with your goals, because even the society doesn't really promote heavy savings. Every financial advisor that I've ever talked with always say, don't have a large savings, diversify, which is okay, which is fine, that's what you should do, right? But the reality is some people goals may just to be having money saved, and maybe having money on the stock market at being too risky may drive them crazy. So if whoever I'm talking to, the lesson for today is, let's start to have these money conversations, but get comfortable within your own shoes and the conversations will be easy. The reason why it's so uncomfortable because so many people are stunting in their, you know how to say, stay in your tax bracket. You got people that are making $30,000 buying Gucci, where if you know you have to stay like in your bracket. So because all of the brackets are kind of like, everybody's buying everything and experiencing everything, nobody know who's really rich or who's poor, who's middle class. It's just so many layers to it, this falsehood, right? That right now no one is comfortable talking about money. So I think honestly my spirit is telling me to tell you guys that we have to get whole within ourselves so we can start to have those money conversations and be able to build the wealth and build the life that we want. Because if I want to make 30 million and you only want to make 1 million, me saying I want to make 30 should not make you uncomfortable. You should be so comfortable that you want to make your 1 million that you good. If you only want to save $300,000 and then let your children get $3 million in insurance, be comfortable with that. You know, guys, the issue is we have to start with where we are, break our money barriers, and write down the vision for yourself. Not Instagram, not Facebook, not the Kardashians, not your neighbor, because your neighbor done bought a new car, or your neighbor done rebuilt the house or added an addition there. You trying to figure out how you can add in an addition. Y'all need to stop. But that's I will be honest with you guys, and then I'm gonna close out because we got like 3 minutes. Those are the discussions y'all be having. Oh, girl, you seen that she put that addition to her house? How much money you think she paid for that? Right? That's not what we're supposed to be talking about, guys. We're supposed to be talking about how did she go about affording the addition on her home. Girl, what you think she do? How you think she got that money? You think she invested in stock? You think she saved? You think she used a home equity line of credit? What you think she used? What strategy? Because I think I need to do the same thing. You see? So when you change your curiosity and the things that you're concerned about, you will get or be able to figure out, or God will end up blessing you with the strategy that XYZ did, so you can in turn maybe invest in or take part or partake in. So guys, this is Let's Talk Money Week. We have to have these money discussions. It's very beneficial to your children, to your marriage, to yourself, your God, not your Instagram, not your Facebook. I'm not telling you guys to post to Facebook. I make 7 figures. No. I'm saying look back and see what you're spending your 7 figures on. seeing what adjustments you can make, and does that align with what your goals are? And if it's not, hold yourself accountable, guys, to be able to achieve those goals. But it starts all with you, okay? So, guys, next week show, I'm excited to be. I'll be settled. I'll be back, and I'll be able to enjoy next week's show with you guys. I enjoyed talking about the discussion for tonight because I hope that some of you guys have put into action what we talked about, and you guys go back and check out the replay on radio app. Check out the replay, and then let me know what you guys think in the comments. Were you able to do your budget easily? Were you able to save a little bit more? Were you able to be finally honest and hold yourself accountable? Because y'all kind of scared to hold yourselves accountable, and you shouldn't be. All right, guys. I'll see you next week, Tuesday. Love you. Good night. Notified and look out for what we have coming out in store and all of our guest